Namaste. I'm your friend Rushika Khare. And with me is Major Rahul Wankhede. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi Rushika, I'm Major Rahul Wankhede, and now I'm retired, so I have to put that suffix retired after my name. So I have 11 years in army, and that experience taught me so many things. And currently, I'm working with a school. I'm looking after the administration. So whatever questions you want to ask, I will try and answer.
Great. So,
Okay,
heartiest welcome to Calligraphy with Rushika. So,
thank you.
without wasting any time, let's start with the first session, which is all about my profession. So,
Okay.
what would your role as a major look like on a day to day basis?
So what happens? Major is a mid seniority level role in army. So here we have to look after the training of the troops. Troops means our soldiers who are there in my unit. I have to make sure that they are ready to take any actions or they have to participate in any operation. So their training I have to plan. Then there is a part of administrations where we have to look into their documentations and lot many things. So basically every day it starts with a PT in the morning, that is generally at 5:30. So that follows with their breakfast and then the training sessions for entire day. And if there is a night time any exercises planned, so that we do. So overall, the complete day, it has its own schedule that we generally follow.
All right. So skipping into more of the past. So how does one join the Indian Army and what does the journey looks like?
Army, it is not a career option first. It is the liking. If you have passion for it, then you will prepare for that organization. So once a person or a student he is eager to join the army, then he prepares himself from very young age. So you may see there are students who are joining Sainik schools, or somebody goes to RIMC, or there are other schools which are preparing them for army or any defense services. So from there, the journey starts. Or if somebody is interested, if he is not joining any school, the Sainik school or any military school, but still he can prepare. So once he completes his 12th, so after that, there are exams like LDA or the entries like TS. Uh, so through them, they clear that entrance exam and then they join the prestigious institutes like NDA or the MCT in Mahu or in Secunderabad. So through them, they get graduation and they join as a lieutenant in army. Apart from that, there are numerous entries. So once, if somebody is not able to clear his NDA, so he does his graduation, then give a exam that is a CDS exam. So through that CDS exam, he joins the Army, Navy, or Air Force.
So what are the objectives of these exams and how does one prepare for these exams?
Okay, that is a great question. So what is the objective? There are a few criteria for that. Any UPSC or the institute which is taking the exams, they want to see whether a person who is just a average guy or he is intelligent or he can solve the problem. So basically in army we look a person who is just not intelligent but he must have that acumen where he can solve the problem. So basically we need a guy who can fix everything. So
Mhm.
how to fix those things? So to check, we generally take the exams. That is the objective of the exams, to select a right person.
Yes. And how does one prepare for these exams?
Okay. So once a person, if he is motivated enough, then he has to study. That involves you need to referring to current affairs, then the syllabus till your 10th class, where all those subjects like your social science, economics, civics, those are integrated. Then obviously the history part. So till 10th, you have to be good in your general studies. And if you are appearing for maths, for NDA, then maths is the thing where you have to really prepare well, because that is a separate paper in NDA. That is of 300 marks paper. So English for your better understanding, mathematics, which can make or break the merit part, and then the general studies. So these three exams are there, and if you are well read, if you are prepared well for your exams in your school days, so then you can very well clear this exam.
All right. So, like, after qualifying for NDA and then, like, the whole process, and then once
Yeah.
someone is in the Indian Army, so what are the early stages of this?
We just missed one little part in the journey of this examination and joining the Indian Army.
Yes.
So after the exam, you have to clear the merit, which is at all India level.
Yes.
So once you are in that merit, you will be called for an interview. That interview is called SSB interview, Services Selection Board.
Okay.
Once you are into that interview, that is a 4 days interview process.
Hmm.
So you will be tested on lot many aspects, whether you are physically fit, you are mentally fit. So all these aspects will be checked during this interview. Once you clear that interview part, then again there is a merit. So the selection process and the number of students getting selected in the defense forces, that ratio is very low. And after that interview, that merit, you get selected and then go to the training academies. So that is the journey period.
Oh.
Once you successfully completes that training, then you go to unit. And in unit, again, you will be trained for few more years where you will be getting knowing the unit, the troops, how are the equipments, and there is a lot of things are there that we have to know. So that is how we start our career in our early days in Indian Army, or rather than any defense services.
So I've heard for every rank you earn, there are
Yeah.
examination one needs to clear. So what
Yeah.
are these exams like? What do they focus on? How do you prepare between between in between you also have to go for training and everything. So how do one prepare for this also?
Okay. So what happens? Everything is earned in army or in any forces wherever you are, or in any organization. Let's just say as you are a student.
Yes.
So if you want to get promoted to the next class, what is there? You have to pass
Clear
a
the
test,
exam. Yeah.
unit test, annual exams. Those are there. So same thing. It is there in the army. We cannot stay like a person who is not reading or who is not into anything. So if you are getting a rank, it means there is a promotion. And with that, you might have heard the dialogue, the famous dialogue in Spider-Man: with powers comes responsibility. So that every rank, it has some powers. So to earn those powers, you also have to take some responsibility. So that comes when you are tested.
Hmm.
So to ensure a right person is promoted to the next rank, there are exams. So those exams, they involve about the subjects generally. There are like for technology, we have science and technology wala paper. Then for administrative part, we have a paper on administration. Then whether a person is knowing about what is happening around him or in the world. So then we have a paper on current affairs. So this is how a person is tested. So that written part, and then there is a physical part. We have to stay physically fit. So there are physical tests that we have to appear. Then there are medical, so that every person is tested.
Everything.
Okay.
Great. And so as we end the session, I would like to ask, how has AI impacted this field? Because majorly this field is manual, but then how but AI has impacted everything.
It's a right question rather than, and again, it is a evolution part. See, AI is recently came.
Yeah.
Before that, everything was done through the brainstorming, whatever is there, we need to analyze that part. And those processes were quite manually. But AI now with us, and again, the warfare nowadays, it has been a modern warfare.
Yeah.
Earlier, since World War One till now this present war, which is US and Iran, they are
Yeah.
fighting for. So
Yeah.
that landscape of all these fights, it is changing.
Hmm.
So what happened? We are now getting lot many information, lot many data. To
Yeah.
analyze this data and to analyze this information, we need some data analytics. So there comes the AI. So AI is helping in that way. though it is not, we are fully dependent on the AI because a machine cannot replace the man.
Hmm. Yes.
So this is how it is. But AI is useful for us.
So that's the end of the first session.
Okay.
Uh, Again, let's just right jump into the second one without extending into any other discussion. So,
Okay.
so the second session is my journey of me. I like to
Okay.
start this session with asking what inspired you to choose the path or this path in the first place.
It is about the motivation, and it is if you have that passion for the army, navy, or air force, if that passion is in you, then you will automatically get attracted towards the services, and then you will prepare yourself to join this organization. So that thing was already there. Again, in my family, my uncle, he always used to motivate me on the part of army. He was liking it like anything. So getting the inspiration from him, and again my own passion, I prepared for the exams and then I get through it.
Great. We see army, a common man sees army through social media or films. And do you think it is very different from what we see?
See, in social media or army, it is there to motivate people.
Yes.
There are challenges, that challenges once you join the services, that you have to face by yourself. In social media or in the films, what we show, it generally a story builds on the organization and how it helped to get any aim or the objective which was there. So that is generally focus on the heroics parts generally, where army is shown in a there was a movie called Border, if you have seen it.
Yes.
So that tells the heroic story, or it has some historical elements in it. It is a story based on the true events.
Yes.
Okay. So you have seen that 2.5 hours of movie where hero is there, and then there is there are people they are fighting for it. So in 2.5 hours, we cannot show the entire picture what we generally do on day-to-day basis. So whatever you see in the movies, there is a truth because those are again shot in the area where military installations are there. So yes, there's a truth in it, but sometimes it goes like actors are flying, and then it is not like that.
Yes. So as you said,
Okay.
there are challenges in this field. So what was your most fearful position or what was the most challenging moment in your journey?
There are a lot many challenges, and getting on only one thing, that may be a very difficult task for me. But when I was at Batalik, so to maintain that post, because it was on 17,000 plus feet height, where we are dependent on everything that has to be stored there, and we have to fetch everything from the bases. So that was the place where I saw to uh, pass the time with the troops
Hmm.
and keep them motivated. And every time there, if there is any problem with any soldier, so we have to get that trust in him. We have to make him to understand the situation and the role. So that was the one factor, and that was quite challenging,
Yes.
but we did it.
So what was one thing which you felt or you got inspired by your seniors? So like here you inspired the troops or the army men. What was one moment where you got inspired
I got inspired from my troops.
by your
Yeah,
seniors? Or
by my seniors. Okay. So, there was a situation of COVID everywhere.
yes.
So, in that time, we were having some difficulties because I was there, I was at Mahu. I was doing some training, and my family, she was at Dehradun. So, we were quite apart, and now that time she was needing some help. and I was at Mahu, and then the country was at lockdown. Then that problem again, my senior, he came in that picture, and then he helped me because he was already stationed in Dehradun. So whatever the problems my family faced, he tried and provide whatever possible help he can give to them. So this happens, and then it motivated me to keep on my training part because I knew there is someone who is again looking after my family in Dehradun. So I was a bit relaxed, and that inspired me a lot. So again, in my time in army and now again in the civil part, I see that wherever possible, we should help the people. So
So talking,
that was the inspiration.
yeah. Now talking about family, what was their reaction when you told them or announced that you want to be in army? Because it's a very unpredictable field. So
Okay.
uh,
It was again a interesting story. What happened before joining army? I was in Air Force. So after doing my 12th, I joined Air Force. I was airman there. And in that 4 years of journey, I did my graduation and then I appeared for CDS examination. I told you that after graduation, you can give CDS exam. So post that exam, again, my grandma, she was not very supportive to me that I should go and join defense forces. So when I joined Air Force, she was not very happy. And when I cleared my army exam and then I went to Officers Training Academy, Chennai, I didn't tell them that I got commissioned into Indian Army and now I will be joining the army. But when I passed out, that time I called my grandma and my uncles. All of them, they came to Chennai. They did my pipping. They put actually the keeping when we get the ranks. So our parents generally they put the ranks on our shoulder. So she was quite surprised. She was again, what have you done? Like, I joined army. Ula, you were in Air Force, now you are in Army. So they were quite having that concern that now it is a challenging job. You are already in Air Force, now you are going to Army, then the challenges will be there. So then I have to make them understand, no, things are like this. Though it is challenging, but it is satisfying job and it is my passion. Finally, they agreed to it.
so as we end the interview and the second session, what is one advice you would give to aspirants who want to join army today?
We have to be honest to ourselves whether we really want to join the army, and then we must have that consistency and we must be persistent in our effort to join any organization or any exams which you want to crack or you want to get success into. So honesty and the persistency, these two things are there, and just follow it. And the last part is follow your heart. Wherever you want to go, just follow your heart. That's
With- Closing with that great remarks of yours, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Would you want to share anything today?
Uh, it was a nice experience being interviewed by you, and at such a young age, you are asking so many difficult questions to us. Mostly, it is. We are generally not used to give answers. We generally give when we were in army, we used to give orders. Now, giving answer to you, it is quite a difficult job. We also have to prepare for it. So, thanks for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much for connecting today.
Okay,
This is your friend Tor Rushika Khare signing off.